Is this just recording?
Yeah. Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Today I have a special guest. So Ben is filming with me today. We are doing another of the money diaries with Experian. So I'm not sure if you guys saw before, but I did a video with them speaking about life after moving in, like how we're saving and kind of what we're saving for now. Just gonna move my hand. Also guys, I just wanted to mention that this video is sponsored by Experian, and they're a brand that we use throughout the whole process of buying a house. So this is a very natural collaboration for me and something that I'm really proud to be working on. But I did just want to state at the beginning of the video that it is sponsored. I will put it in the caption and stuff below. But yeah. So yeah, we're back today with another video. So I've roped Ben in for some help just because obviously this process, the whole house buying process and saving and everything we did together, so I thought it would be really good to answer some of your questions together.
Hi everyone.
So yeah, this is probably the first time that you guys have met Ben. Kind of dragged him in much against his will, but he is here.
Getting paid for this, by the way. Just saying that.
He's not. But yeah, so I've asked you guys some questions and I just want to keep this like a really kind of natural chat about our kind of experience. Just a heads up, we are not like financial advisors, we're just speaking from our experience, and we're just a couple that saved and bought a house, and this is just our process and how we did it. And something that I'm just really excited to share with you guys, because I know that a lot of my followers are in the same kind of age bracket and looking to do the same thing, so hopefully this video will help you. Also, I've written the questions down, they're not really in any particular order, so I'm just going to kind of reel them off and we'll go from there. So, first question, how long did the process take from offer to completion?
Well, super quick.
Yeah, so I mean I did quite a lot of the admin.
She did it all, to be fair.
Yeah, I was just like, Ben, here's the contract, sign it. We were really lucky. I would say usually, I think it's quite typical for it to take 2 to 3 months, but we saw the house, fell in love, took our parents back the next weekend on the Saturday. On the Monday we put in an offer, another couple had put in an offer, didn't they? And we went a little bit above what we knew they wanted, just because we wanted the house so much, and we said like, please take it off the market. They did, and then within 6 weeks we'd completed, which is ridiculous. I mean, it could have gone through quicker because the estate agents were pushing us. So yeah, I just don't really think, everyone's so shocked because they were like, oh, what happened? Because on your stories, like one minute you were viewing a house, the next minute you just moved in, and it took a while for us to process it, didn't it? Because it just happened so quick. But yeah, we were just, I think, a bit of a...
I think we got lucky.
Yeah, we were very lucky because we found a house we loved, we put in an offer, and everyone says like buying a house is the most stressful process in the world, and like, yeah, okay, there were a few bumps along the way, and the thing I found stressful was putting an offer and knowing that at any time they could just pull the carpet, and like it was ours but it wasn't ours yet, and like that was a bit like, oh, I just want to sort of move in, so now it's done. But yeah, we were very lucky. We moved in, well, we completed within 6 weeks, and then we moved in after Christmas, didn't we? Because just the Christmas break we were like, it's too stressful to move in. So yeah. But usually I think it's 2 to 3 months to kind of answer your questions. I know it can take longer, sometimes it can take sort of like 4 months. I think it's all down to your solicitors, and so kind of once it's over to them, it's just a waiting game on them kind of going back and forward. It's not really anything to do with you anymore, it's kind of out of your hands.
I think it depends on how fussy you are as well. We're quite low maintenance, so I think we found our place with all our requirements quite quickly. Yeah,
well actually I've got a question about that, because someone said, what criteria did you have when looking for a home? So that'll be a good one to answer now.
Bathtub.
I was like, I won't move anywhere without a bath.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we had our like 3 bedrooms, quiet area, commutable into town. Yeah. Pretty much it from my side.
Yeah, for Ben, like he works in London, so it's really important that you could commute into town, and we were like quite close to a train station, which we are. The whole 3-bedroom thing, I mean, we both grew up in 3-bedroom houses, so it reminds us of home quite a lot. But for me, the main thing was, we've moved, so basically we lived an hour and a half apart before, so the house is basically bang in the middle of both of us, but it's still 50 minutes away from each of our homes. So I wanted a spare room for like when our friends and family came to stay. That was quite important to me, to have that room. And then the third room, like eventually I'm thinking of putting an office in the garden, but the third room was always going to be my office because I work from home. So it wasn't like us being like, oh, we want a 3-bed house. Like it was just like practicality really that we wanted it. And we found some within our budget, so it wasn't like completely out of reach. So
yeah, I think our budget dictated what we wanted as well, and obviously first property on the ladder, trying to resell potentially and make money in future, that was part of the decision, I think.
Well, that's the thing, because it's a 3-bed house, like we can sell this as a family home, like when we do come to sell it. So that, I do think it's got kind of that like sellable value sort of added to it. So that was kind of our criteria. And we wanted like a garden as well, didn't we? We wanted somewhere in the summer, like we can sit outside and yeah, when we have kids. Cut that bit out.
Cut.
Okay, what are your suggestions for helping get approved for a mortgage?
Find a good mortgage advisor through your girlfriend who does all the admin and that side of things for you. That's my advice.
Yeah, basically let your girlfriend take charge
Pretty
of it.
much.
To be honest, getting a mortgage advisor is completely like up to the person, because you can go to like a high street lender, you can search online, you don't have to have a mortgage advisor. I think we paid £300 for ours, didn't we? Again, I think that's no idea. I'd be like, can you just transfer me money? He was like, yeah, fine.
It's a good job I trust her.
Yeah. Swans off to Mexico.
I'm going to check the statements when we get out of this.
But yeah, getting a mortgage advisor is completely like up to you whether you want to. But I feel like, personally, like at school they didn't teach you anything like to do with this, did you? And I went into a mortgage advisor and I was like, I feel like a 5-year-old, like I don't know anything, I don't know what to expect, had no idea on the process. So he was amazing.
I think just speak to people in your network, get recommendations.
People that have done it, people that have bought a house, ask for some advice.
Yeah.
Like, because the thing is, £300, in the grand scheme of things, for all that advice and help you are getting, he literally held our hand throughout the whole process and was amazing. I could call him at any time, was a really good price. But at the same time, when you've just spent all that money on your deposit and your stamp duty and everything else, like another £300 is still £300. So I think it's just personal preference. So mortgage advisor was the very first step. We started that maybe last summer.
Yeah.
And then one of the first things we did was both set up an Experian account. That was one of the first things my mortgage advisor told us to do. Set up an Experian account, because we had no idea on our credit score, did we, or like our credit check and stuff. And like your credit score can obviously determine whether you get approved for a mortgage or not. And I'd had a few missed payments at uni, like standard, but you just never think at the time that it's ever going to come back to bite you and like affect potentially getting a mortgage. So both of us had to work on our credit rating, and Experian will give you like tips on how to do it. So you took out a credit card, didn't you?
Yeah.
And was like, make sure he paid it off in full every month just to get his credit rating up.
Registering to vote, things like that, just little tweaks that can push it up.
And I think that's really important, because it just, the thing is, you don't want to find a house, set your heart on it, and then you don't get approved for a mortgage. So Paul was like, this is one of the first things you need to do, because it can like take sort of 6 months, isn't it, to like get your credit score up. So we kind of did that early doors. And we're kind of, well, did we pay for that one, didn't we?
Yes.
But we did pay for the kind of like premium service, but it was really, really helpful in the grand scheme of things. It gave us so much advice and did help us in the end to improve our credit score and get a mortgage. So that was probably the biggest thing that helped us, really. And then from there, once, because we started looking, didn't we, before we had the rest of our deposit together. I think this is quite common, quite a lot of people, because we got to the point where I was just like so fed up. I was like, I want to move now. And then yeah, we like started looking, and then because my dad was like, you know, it could take you like 6 months to find the house of your dreams. And then it was, we viewed 5 houses in one day, and then it was the second weekend, the second lot of houses we viewed, we found the house we loved. And we were like, oh god, that happened so much sooner. And then because all our mortgage and completion date happened within 6 weeks, we were like, oh, we've still got all this money to save.
Yeah, but interesting time.
We did it, we're here. So yeah, I would say if you are in the market for a mortgage advisor, I would say that they are really, really helpful. So first step is find a mortgage advisor, and then second step, well, with or without a mortgage advisor, is to go on Experian, because that will change the game, really.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I just answered that one. What was the first step once you had the money saved?
She just goes off on a tangent when she has coffee every time. Yeah,
I've had 2 coffees today and Ben puts me like on a ban. He's like, no more.
Absolute on coffee watch right now.
It's the worst when you come home from work, isn't it? Because I work on my own, so I don't speak to anyone all day, and then he comes home.
Thank God I work long hours.
And I just chew his ear off, and he's like, how many coffees have you had today?
I think there was a question in there about sort of getting help from your family as well, which sort of ties in with the saving piece. So yeah.
This was the next one. Did you get help from your family?
Yeah, obviously not everyone has the luxury of having a network that can lend them money. We're quite fortunate in that we both earn decent money, so we could sort of save and have a disposable income as well. But I think towards the end, when Hayley was saying about how things started moving quite quickly and we realised that we were still X amount off our target, then I sort of had to reach out and borrow like a small amount just to get me over the line because it moved so quickly. But other than that, we sort of did it off our own backs over.
So you borrowed like a small amount from your dad, and my dad very kindly paid our stamp duty. So stamp duty, as far as I'm aware, up to the value of £300,000, they've like changed the laws and you don't have to pay it. But our house was 336, so we had to pay the stamp duty on the £36,000, which was still £1,800, which is crazy. And the thing is, we had to save, did we save about £35,000 for our deposit, so like 17.5 grand each. And then like a couple of people, this isn't a question, but a few people sent in to me and said, oh, we just thought we had to save our deposit, and then there's like the solicitor's fees, which is like another 1,000. Oh no, hang on. We paid our stamp duty and my dad paid our solicitor's fees, which was £1,600, I think. But yeah, solicitor's fees, stamp duty, there's like all these hidden things that you don't realise. And yeah, when you've saved up that much money, that's just a lot on top.
I think the advice that I'd probably give on that is that don't rush in with your money and think that once you've got the deposit, you're good to go. I'd probably hold back, get yourself a bit of a buffer, allow for, bills, whatever it might be, just a bit of a buffer, partial deposit money before you rush in to start looking for houses.
Yeah, like we probably could have done that, taken our own advice. But to be honest, we knew we were like ready, like in our heads, and I think once we saw the house, we were like, yeah, that's our home, that's the house we want. And the thing is, you just make it work. Like, we were fortunate that like our dad sort of helped us. My dad paid solicitor's fees, and
we were very close though. We were almost there, and it was just because it happened so quickly, we had to just get a little bit of help over the line. But other than that,
but I think that was even the stamp duty. But we put the same, like the whole deposit ourselves, which so proud of, because we. Oh, this is another question. So someone said, how long did you save for? So
it's crazy. We only started saving literally last summer.
Yeah, so we've been together 3.5 years, and maybe like 2.5 years ago, like a year into our relationship, like because we didn't live together, we knew, when we both got older, we knew like we wanted to buy a house and stuff. So we started saving, but I use this term saving like very loosely because we were just like, oh yeah, should we go out for dinner? Should we do this? Should we go on holiday to Ibiza? And we were just like blazing through money. And then we'd like put money in our savings and be like, oh, I'm just gonna take £500 out, just gonna do this, just gonna do that. And then we stuck around like a couple of £1,000, didn't we, each? And that was all we had. Not that that was all, because that's still good, but we weren't taking it seriously. And then last summer I sat down with Ben and was like, if we don't start taking it seriously, we're never gonna move out. So we went hard.
Yeah.
So really, we saved hard from when we started saving to when we transferred the deposit for 18 months, which we did really well.
I think what you've got to do is set yourself a target of when you want to move out, how much you need, and obviously just try and hit that figure within that time scale.
Yeah.
And that will determine on sort of what sacrifices you have to make, etc. Like, we're massive foodies, so we like to go out and eat at restaurants and stuff, and obviously with what you do, your travel, etc. But yeah, it's just about sort of what you want to achieve, and it's down to you to go after it.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, we just go out for dinner all the time, just think nothing of it. But then I was like, we can't just do that, because every 40-50 quid really matters. So then we started doing that date night, didn't we? We'd have like a date night once a month, where like 1 month I would organise it and the next month Ben would. That was really nice, because the thing is, I think when you're saving it, yeah, like Ben said, you want to have a goal in mind and you want to get there, and you're so determined and you do make sacrifices, but at the same time, don't kill yourself doing it, because if you put too much pressure on yourself, it just saps every ounce of fun. And that's why we were like, look, we can afford to have one date night a month where we do something really cool. We did like some jazz bars or like something nice, just to make sure you've still got a life.
Yeah,
because if you don't, yeah, you lose interest quite quickly.
Yeah. End up resenting the process.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so someone said, so yeah, how long did you save for? So in total, really 18 months, like us going really hard. It's
I think
probably,
that's quite quick, like,
yeah.
depending on your situation.
That's the thing, I think it's like how long is a piece of string. Like I couldn't say to you, like save £500 every month, because it's completely dependent on your salary, your disposable income. Like we were both living with parents, so we were really lucky. We weren't paying rent, so there was quite a lot of different variables that enabled us to save a lot in a short amount of time. But for some people, the process happens over like 5-7 years. And the thing is, there's no time limit, you just do what's right for you. If you know that in 3 years' time you want to move out, like that's your goal, just work to it. Okay, so someone said, did you make any changes to your spending habits?
Sort of already covered that, but yeah, we had to.
Your lunches as well was like...
Yeah, I mean, I'm a £15-20 a day at lunch. I work in the city.
But you can't really get lunch for under £10 anywhere in London, can you?
Exactly. So I think, yeah, you have to make sacrifices sometimes, and it might involve sacrificing things that you're less willing to sacrifice. But yeah, again, it depends on how quick you want to get to where you need to be. But yeah, sandwiches for work.
Just like making lunches or just cutting back.
Yeah.
Also like holidays and stuff. Like if for 1 year or 2 years you don't have a holiday, but you know at the end of it you're going to have your own house, it's like you've got to weigh up what means more to you. Like we really wanted to move out, so we did a couple of like staycations in the UK, which I think is, I love going away in the UK because there's so many beautiful places here. And obviously I'm fortunate because of my job that I get to travel, so we still did. But the thing is, it's not a holiday, it's work, so which is, I think people don't really understand. But at the same time, we didn't really take a holiday for ourselves, did we? We were just kind of focused. We didn't buy Christmas presents. Like, because all your family and friends, they understand. Like, I think they'd be annoyed if you went out and spent all this money on Christmas presents when...
That's another thing. I think it's the whole commercial sort of thing of, and it's not just Christmas, it's Valentine's Day, birthdays, and it's just become a trend of sort of having to spend money. And I think that people that you love and care about will understand that you can just be with them, or you don't have to spend hundreds of pounds on said day.
Yeah, so. And everyone, they knew what position we were in, they knew we were saving so hard, and they were like, we don't want your presents, we don't want your money, like just put the money towards a house. So yeah, we just went hard. And here we are. Okay, how did you know what you can afford? So, I think, again, I will look into this just to make sure I'm giving you guys the correct answer, but I think it is 4.5 times your income. So we took Ben's income and my income, put them together and then times it by 4.5, and that's how much you can borrow, roughly. So yeah, they tell you this obviously when we're with the mortgage advisor, so we knew from the off, okay, this is like our top level what we could borrow, but we didn't want, because where I'm self-employed, I was like, I don't want to buy a house at the max budget, because then every month we're going to be pushing it to like, you know, what if I don't have a lot of work one month or something. I didn't want to be in that position, so we went for sort of like mid-range, which what we knew we could afford, and for the money we could still get a 3-bed house, which is what we wanted. So so that was kind of how we knew what we could afford.
Yeah, and it just comes down to sacrifice for me again. You've just got to cut back where you need to, and if you slip up one month, sort of go hard the next month to save even harder. Yeah.
Are you answering a different question?
I don't know. What have I just done? I switched off for a minute.
Just lost Ben. Was it because I was talking?
I don't know. I think the coffee's kicked in for her and I've just zoned out.
He does this. I've been talking to him and he's just like...
This is your field, this isn't mine.
So we were asking, how did you know what you could afford? So like 4.5 times. Okay, so also another point. So I've been getting a lot of questions that I probably will answer separately, but being self-employed, because I thought it was this huge myth that I'd never get a mortgage, and everyone was like, oh my god, you're self-employed, you'll never get one. But it was easy, it was fine. I just needed to provide 2 years worth of books. You have to basically show a regular income, which I could, and then your job's commission, like sort of some of it's commission based, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we were worried because I think again they've sort of changed it a bit, but they didn't really used to take commission into account. But because
which was a worry for us, because most of my job's commission based. My commission outweighs my salary.
Yeah.
So
But at the same time, Ben had to provide 6 months worth of his paychecks, because then they could see, well, actually his commission was regular, and then I think they just averaged it and then knew that that was kind of roughly how much you would get, and then yeah, that's how we knew what we could afford.
Yeah.
You with me, hun?
I think so. Getting to the end of it now, though.
I'm sorry.
Wrap this up.
No, to be honest, I think I've like covered most of the questions that you guys have asked. Is there anything else you want to answer?
No, I'm good. Hope you all
Someone
had your
did
queries
message
answered.
and say, how do you find it living together?
Jury's out on that one.
Ben's like, I finished
It's
the
been
video.
3 months. Let's keep an eye on that one. But yeah,
No.
I think we have our little moments, don't we, where we butt heads over
Oh my
things.
God.
Like, she thinks I don't wash up enough. I'm like, how's those gourmet meals you've been eating? Fine. Yeah.
Yeah, Ben
Enjoy
used to
that-
be a
enjoy
chef,
that
so he
food.
does like amazing food.
Thanks.
To be honest, we're like so laid back and we get on so well, don't we? Like, we lived together a bit before when I moved in with you and your dad, so we knew we'd be fine. But our first argument, I think this is actually the first argument ever in our relationship, was about Tupperware, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah. And I know you're with me on this. Cookie, I know, crackers go in Tupperware, right?
I
Once
bought the
you open the
Tupperware for his
crackers, they go in
lunchboxes.
Tupperware, otherwise you might as well throw them away.
Yeah, but also he takes his lunchboxes to work and never brings them home. So just constantly buying Tupperware, and then the other day he come home with 3 lunchboxes, none of them were ours. I was like, I don't know who
Sorry,
just stole them.
guys, as well. Bring those back.
Yeah,
Someone.
sorry to anyone in the office who's just stolen your lunchbox. But no, we find it like, it's just easy, isn't it? I think it should be easy. I don't think it should be hard. Of course there's going to be times when you're tired and you annoy each other, but it's life.
Yeah, I mean, just on a total side note, I think you should probably iron all that stuff out before you take the plunge and move in with someone.
Yeah.
Like, otherwise you'll just end up killing each other. In which case you need a big garden to take it in. But other than that,
Oh,
you're
that's
good to go.
sorted. You're
Sorted,
alright.
yeah.
No, some people say that you should rent before you buy a house, which probably is good advice. We didn't, just because we didn't want to spend the money renting before when we were
And we both
saving.
already rented before. I'm obviously a little bit older, definitely.
Yeah.
Other than what I might look, and I'd rented a few times previously, so yeah, it was about the time to sort of
Yeah.
get something more long term.
And yeah, I'd spent maybe like 4 months living with you and your dad, and they're just like so laid back, so easy to go on with. I knew we'd be fine. And the thing is, like, okay, if it doesn't, like, I think when you're younger, people put so much pressure, like, oh my god, buying a house is like the biggest deal in the world. And don't get me wrong, it is a big commitment to each other, but if it doesn't work out, you just sell the house, like, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, and I think 2-3 years is a good amount of time to sort of be with someone before moving in. You, like, some people move in after like 6 months, which is fine. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
But
I don't think
we
there's
were ready
really
at
like
that
a
point.
time, because a couple of my friends are a bit older, and I think if you meet someone and you're like later on in life, like, what's the point of waiting just
definitely.
because?
If you know and you're comfortable, yeah.
Yeah, and if you can both afford it and it's the right step, then just go for it. You learn pretty quickly, like, you know, Ben seems to forget where the washing basket is, don't you, sometimes?
I mean, Amber once.
Happens more than once. But you kind of pick up on each other's traits straight away, and you're just like, yeah. It's life.
Say that, babe.
But yeah, I think that's everything, guys. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any other questions, just just feel free to like DM me, and I will help where I can. I don't even know if I mentioned at the beginning of this video, but I'm going to put a disclaimer in the video that this was sponsored by Experian. Which I think for me is just a collaboration that I'm really, really proud to work on, because as I mentioned, we use Experian, didn't we, like so much, and we still use it now, because after you've bought a house it can affect your credit score, so we still do check up on it, and it's something that we just found like invaluable to our process of buying a house. So it's something that, yeah, I'm just really happy to be working with them on, and I hope you found this helpful, guys. Yeah, maybe we'll see Ben again soon.
How about that? Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Bye.